Oops, let's go back. Hold on, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Good afternoon. Once again, thank you for joining me today. I want to talk about Lydende and Bedrywende Vorm. In English, this is passive and active voice. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, this is a relatively tough topic to understand, but I'm going to give you a few pointers on how to do this because it just makes writing pieces more interesting. It makes speaking the language a little bit easier. Right, so the Lydende Vorm is your passive voice, and it's normally indicated by deur, die, and then the rest of your sentence will follow. For example, you will have the object, die bal, then you will have was, which is your past tense verb, deur die seun, deur die is your indication that this is in the Lydende Vorm. Die seun is your your subject, and then geskop. So now you can see that what I've done is I've taken the normal STOMPI rule and I've basically just swapped around the object and the subject. So in other words, die bal is your object and die seun is your subject. If you are doing present tense, you would say die bal word deur die seun geskop. Word means be or being. So in other words, the ball is being kicked by the boy. And then you've got die bal sal deur die seun geskop word. So there you've got die bal, once again your object, sal deur, will, sal is will, deur die seun geskop word. Once again word, it will be kicked by the boy. This is your future tense. The following word, word, is very important because you will have to use them in the present or the future tense, and it means be or being. What is the Bedrywende Vorm? This is the active voice. This is the normal form of STOMPI that we normally apply. So in other words, subject, time, verb, object, manner, place, and infinitive. So for example, die seun skop die bal, or die seun het die bal geskop, or die seun sal die bal skop. As you can see, there isn't a word in these sentences. This means that this is in the active voice. Obviously, it's very important to note that sometimes you will anyway use word, but for the purposes of this video, keep in mind that your subject, die seun, is in its normal place, and die bal, your object, is in its normal place. Right, sentences in the active voice starts with the subject normally, or time. But we've discussed this in class where if it is time, then the subject goes right after that. So example, gister het die bal, het die seun die bal geskop, for example. So anyway, example, vandag sal Sally winkel toe gaan. So remember that your normal STOMPI rule applies for Bedrywende Vorm. Right, so what are the rules to put a sentence from the active to the passive voice? Bedrywend tot Lydende Vorm. So in other words, the question you would normally associate with this action is herskryf die volgende sin in die Lydende Vorm, or skryf die volgende sinne in die Lydende Vorm. So keep in mind herskryf means rewrite, and this is important because when you get to your test, this is a word that you're going to have to remember, herskryf. So the first rule is swap the subject and the object. The second rule is add in deur, and then depending on whether the sentence is present or future tense, add word in its place. And if you're writing the sentence in past tense, you will use was deur. So for present tense, word goes before deur. So in other words, you will have word deur. For future tense, you will have word at the end of the sentence after the action verb. And then rule 3, doesn't matter if it's future, past, or present tense, in the Lydende Vorm, the verb moves to the end of the sentence and gets ge. For example, herskryf die volgende sin in die Lydende Vorm. In jou Bedrywende Vorm het jy Annie dra 'n rok. The sentence is in the present tense in die teenwoordige tyd. So the word goes before deur. 'n rok word deur Annie gedra. And this is your Lydende Vorm sentence here. 'n rok word deur Annie gedra. It's important to remember the STOMPI rule when doing this action. Subject, time, verb, and verb 1, which is your auxiliary or action that tells the tense, object, manner, place. If they want the infinitive, or verb 2, which is normally the action that has been changed into its tense. activity 1. Right, so in your notebooks or on a piece of paper, I don't care, you're going to take today's date, you're going to write it down on the right hand side. You're going to write, on the left hand side, and then your heading will go onto the right hand side, just like we do in our notebooks at school. You're going to skip a line, you're going to write the question, herskryf die volgende sinne in die lydende vorm, and you're going to quickly do this activity, so please pause the video. Now that you've come back from pausing your video, these are the answers. Okay, so these are your answers. You've got die kos word deur Herman geëet, die brood word deur Janneke gekoop, die aktiwiteit word deur Anne-Marie gedoen, die koek word deur Jan gebak en die wasgoed word deur Sandra opgehang. Jy kan sien al die sinne is in die teenwoordige tyd gedoen. Hierso is jou volgende aktiwiteit. Ekskuus, daar sy. Herskryf die volgende sinne in die lydende vorm. Once again, herskryf means rewrite the following sentences in the lydende vorm, which is your passive voice. Pause the video, do the activity as you did with the last one, and then you can carry on. Now that you've come back, here's your answers for activity 2. Quickly mark your work, make your corrections. Die wasgoed sal deur Hanna opgehang word, die mense sal deur Antoinette betaal word, die motor sal deur Gerard reggemaak word, die huiswerk sal deur Ansie klaargemaak word en die oefening sal deur Willemien gedoen word. So daai sal deur en daai word op die einde van jou sin sê vir jou dat hierdie sin is in die toekomende tyd, in the future tense. Right, your next one, activiteit 3. Pause the video. Herskryf die volgende sinne in die lydende vorm. Once again, rewrite the following sentence in the passive voice. And remember, onthou, remember, het verander na was. Was is the past tense of word and will take the place of word in the present tense. So instead of word deur, the sentence now reads was deur. Gerard het die werk klaar gedoen, Maya het die leerders huiswerk gegee, Santi het die koek gebak, Alvin het die liedjie gesing en Sasha het die tee gemaak. So all of those are in the active voice. Quickly pause the video and do it into the passive voice in die lydende vorm. Here's your answers for activity 3. Quickly do your corrections. Die werk was deur Gerard klaar gedoen, die leerders was deur Maya klaar huiswerk gegee, sorry. Huiswerk was deur Maya vir die leerders gegee. I will write this answer properly in the comments. Die koek was deur Santi gebak, die liedjie was deur Alvin gesing en die tee was deur Sasha gemaak. Ekskuus vir hierdie een. Sorry for this one. I will rewrite the correct sentence in the comments for you. All right, so that's about it. Thank you for joining me on this one. And yeah, hope to see you or let you hear my voice next time.